Hi there, and welcome to the Cult of Cinema. My name is Aaron, and I just recorded this video. I'm redoing it actually because I wanted to get this done right, and I had a bit of a technical issue initially. So, welcome to a new little segment where I'm talking about some of the films, the horror films that I watched in and around 1984, like 1984 centric horror films. I didn't want to pick anything that I watched years later. I wanted things that I watched in that time period, and to give you my thoughts on it back then, as opposed to like what I think of the film now. So we're going to start with Don't Open Till Christmas, which is one of those that I think I stumbled on video in late 84, 85. It was somewhere around that period. Dug the heck out of this film. I think I had, Black Christmas had, and then afterwards Silent Night, Deadly Night, they had kind of like wired me to love Christmas horror films. And this was no different. I dug the heck out of this. This is sleazy as hell. And it is so cool. I just really dug the hell out of this film. And it's one that for a long time I couldn't find. And then afterwards I managed to find Demon Macabre. I think my dad had the release initially in Demon Macabre at sale. And I picked it up right away because I just really love this film. Firestarter, I saw in theater around 3 to 4 times. I really like this film. It's a great cast. We got David Keith. We got a short appearance by Heather Locklear in this one as well. We have Martin Sheen in a really good role. Drew Barrymore definitely is one of the scene stealers in here. But there is another one too. There is Mr. George C. Scott. And he does an incredible job in this movie. There's a sequence in the film where he's talking to Martin Sheen and he's talking about how and when he's going to kill the girl and how he's not just going to kill her. He's going to befriend her and he's going to become her friend and she's going to trust him completely, implicitly. And when he has her at her, when he totally has her trust, when she's the happiest that he can make her, then he's going to like just go in and like shove her nose basically back into her brain and kill her because he wants that. That's his thing. That's his kick. I'm not upset that there's a new one being made. I'm not one of those people that minds remakes, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Friday the 13th Final Chapter I watched more than almost any other movie that year. Actually, it's probably the movie I watched most most that year. I loved this film. I enjoyed Tom Savini coming back for the effects. That I was really excited about that. I love the cast. This is probably one of the best casts of any of the Friday the 13th films. The most likable cast too. Though I think 3 probably has like by far and large maybe a bit more likable of a cast, although a bit of a weirder cast. How did those older hippie stoners come up in part 3? Anyway, we're back to part 4. This was supposed to be the ending of Friday 13th. From when you're watching it, it's not. You can tell that this isn't good. Even though, Jason gets the whole machete down through the side of his head, this isn't the end. You can tell by the end of it. And it looks like, you're getting Corey Feldman's Tommy Jarvis is going to be the next killer. And I kind of think that's the way they should have went. I know we got like 6 and it was really good. And we got like 7 and it was like the effects were butcher, but still a good film. And we got 8 and that's also a film. But I would have been interested to see in that universe where Tommy Jarvis wouldn't have got better. And I think it was going there. Like 5 with John Shepard. He did a great job. But 4 is just one of those... when I talk about Deep Red, and I say Deep Red is like the culmination of a lot of other giallo that had come before it and what Argento had done before. Friday the 13th is a culmination of not just all the Friday the 13th movies that came before it to make this incredible film by Joseph Zito, but it's also a combination of a lot of the slasher films that came before it. And it does it right. It does it amazingly right. Gremlins. I saw this in theater too. I saw this in theater. I had the book. I had stickers. I had like this picture book of it as well with the photos. This photo book. Really, really dug the hell out of Gremlins. I mean, how Mandel doing the voice, doing the voices of Gizmo. It was so cool. And who didn't love Gizmo? Gizmo's awesome. But again, this is another one. A lot of people don't consider this like a horror film, but it is. It's a Christmas horror film. It's a younger horror film. And my proclivity for holiday based horror films. Also super cool in this one, by the way, is Phoebe Cates tells a story about why she hates Christmas. And I'm like, I want to see more of that. I want to see more of Phoebe Cates. I want to know more of that story. So again, incredible film. Hills Have Eyes Part 2. A lot of people hate this movie. and I don't. Now, initially when I first started watching, I was kind of not quite sure where exactly it was going to go. And we get to the sequence in the film where the dog has a flashback. Yes, the dog has a flashback. Everybody, it's padding the film, basically. And as soon as the dog has the flashback, I knew exactly where this movie was going. I was down for it. I was down for the ride. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And I gotta get this one eventually. It's a fun film. It's not the classic Hills of Eyes. It's not pretending to be. It's not even trying to be. But it is good. Razorback by Russell McKay. This is before Highlander. This is a gorgeous film. It's one of the best of the kind of nature attacks type films, the killer animal films that came out. You cannot underestimate like just how well shot and well done this film is. Basically, you have this like grandfather who's taking care of his grandchild, and this gigantic razorback kind of comes in and kills the kid, but he gets the blame for it. So the rest of his life he's kind of basically spending kind of hunting this razorback down. And we get like a change in the lead character around like 3 times. So you're not quite sure. It keeps you like off kilter on, okay, is the grandfather the lead character? And then we get like this girl that comes in, and she's a reporter, and she's doing a story on it, right? So then you think, is she the lead character? And then we get her husband that comes in, and finally we eventually get to our lead character. But it's really well done, extremely well shot, very well acted, a great film. And one of the neat things about this is you could really make a big mistake by showing the creature too much and getting a bit too hokey with it, because this is practical effects after all. But they don't. They show the creature just the right amount, not too little, but not too much. And I thought Razorback's a brilliant film. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. Scream for Help is like in the sleazy line of a sleazier The Stepfather type film is the best way to put this one. Without giving too much away, basically there is a young girl who realizes that the person that her mom is with has very nefarious ideas, and she's the only one that can really can stop him if he doesn't kill her first. Good film, some nice twists in it. Acting overall is okay, but I just one that I really enjoyed. I found myself coming back to it in the video rental stores quite a lot back in the day too. Splatter University, I hate it, which you probably surprise you guys right now, because I've talked about Splatter University. I've talked about it on a podcast. Just to this podcast, I've actually owned 2 versions of this film, the 88 Films edition and the Scream Factory and the Vinegar Syndrome edition of this film. But the ending, I hated the ending when I first saw it. But it was different. I mean, there's a lot of films. Black Christmas had a very nihilistic ending. Kind of left it open up, was ambiguous. This one wasn't ambiguous. This one is a very nihilistic style ending, very much Storm the Drip Blood, with the way that the ending is done. And it was such a tonally unusual film. I grew to appreciate it a lot more in years to come. But when I initially saw this film, I can honestly say this was not one I appreciated well. Terror in the Isles, I love Nancy Allen, Donald Pleasance. If you've never seen this, back in the day, we didn't have the internet to go watch like clips things. We didn't have people like that do the clip shows, and you go on and watch like 2 hours of different different like trailer tapes and stuff like that. We had this, and this was in theaters. This is really, really cool. And it's one of my most watched and my most rented from back in the day. As a kid, I remember renting this and like stopping it and kind of pausing, because this is VHS, guys. This isn't like a DVD or anything like that. Trying to pause it and so that I can see it, so that I can write down all the titles of the films. It took me forever to figure out what the Wings Hauser movie was. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you. You're going to find it yourself when you watch it. It's also the Wings Hauser movie, by the way. I own it now, and it came out by Scream Factory, as did this one here. But you can actually get this one on the original like Halloween 2 like Blu-ray that came out. This was a bonus feature on it. The Initiation. I was totally like a lot of people my age. I was in love with Daphne Zuniga, and I really thought she was good in this. She'd been in a slasher film earlier. I can't remember the name of it right now. Maybe it was The Dormant Street Blood. In a much smaller role. But I love the twist of this one. I know that there's a lot of this has been done now, and been, like some of it's been done to death. But go back and watch this and remember the time frame that it came in. You get a great cast. James Reed's in this one as well. I think Clu Gallagher is in this movie too. Great cast. Well done. Good twist at the end. I like it. Even if you see it coming, still a good twist. They're playing with fire. It's Sybil Danning, guys. As almost everybody my age, we were in love with Sybil Danning. And look at the picture. Can you blame us? This is a unusual mix of a film. Andrew Prine's in this as well. Andrew Prine's one of my favorite character actors. So whenever I see him in a film, I will go towards it. But this was Sybil Danning all the way for this film. This is a bit of a coming of age film, a bit of a slasher film, a bit of a thriller, and a kind of a proto, like, from like the Basic Instinct, Hand Rock the Cradle, that type of thing. It's kind of proto that style film, proto like psychosexual thriller, I guess, type of thing. Earlier one, and Sybil Danning is at her she's at her peak right there. She's gorgeous beyond gorgeous, and as a 13-year-old boy, that I'm gonna see Sybil Danning. And I'm going to see Sybil Danning. It was pretty cool. And I really did like this film, though. I thought that it had some neat twists. And tonally, some people could say this is a bit off because it goes in a lot of different directions. But I think it works. I think this one works much better than they initially planned it to. So I like this one. Nightmare on Elm Street. It came out in 1984. It kind of changed the game. It was a seminal film. So I guess the best way to put this is if you saw Matrix in the theater back in the day, or if you saw like the those, if you're an Avatar person, Avatar, like movies that kind of changed the landscape. A Nightmare on Elm Street really changed the landscape. Slashers were still a thing, but this was the year that they're doing the last Friday the 13th. So it was, slashers had come and gone pretty well, but we thought they were going to go out. And this really put an adrenaline boost in the arm, all that. And it was just a film you knew this was an important film. You knew this was something that people were going to be talking about for a long time. And I really like that fact. Children of the Corn. I like this originally when I saw it. I think I don't like it as much now as I did back then. When I saw it initially, I like this one. And I think part of the reason is I think that part 2 and part 3 are better films. Some people are gonna hate me for that. Hot take, right? Good cast there. But again, when I was younger too, when part 2 came out, Chrissy Clark was in it, and I was young, and Chrissy Clark was like on Days of Our Lives, and I had a crush on Chrissy Clark. So that was that one. And then you had the incredible actors in part 2, and part 3, Urban Harvest, was just really different. I just liked the way that it did. Children of the Corn, I know it gets a lot of hate for its later sequels, and in some ways it went, but I don't mind. I don't mind some sequels in this one. Eventually, what I'll do is I'll go through the whole Children of the Corn franchise for you guys, and we'll have fun with it. Chud, so good. Cannibalistic, humanoid, underground dweller, right? Or urban dweller. Anyway, it is so cool. This is one I am not going to give away. For you. If you have not seen Chud, please see Chud. You can see Chud too. Don't expect it to have the sharp writing or the ramifications or the underscores of kind of society and class and just all the stuff that just is the layers that's in Chud. Chud is layered. Chud's got great monster effects, by the way. So you don't care about the layered stuff, that's okay. Chud's got some amazing monster effects, got some cool gore. Great cast too. Daniel Stern's incredible in this one here. John Hurd's in this. Does a great job. Definitely check this one out. It's a really, really cool film. Company of Wolves. I love this film now. I hate it when I initially saw it, though. I didn't like this when I initially saw it. I was super bored. And I'm not going to lie and pretend just because this is a film that I like now, or that I think is a bit more, a bit more important, a bit fancier. When I saw this initially, I wasn't sure. I wanted more of a standard werewolf film. I wanted a howling is what I wanted. But I got this instead. But yeah, it was okay, but I didn't get into it till much later. And we're back to Don't Open Till Christmas. And there we go. If you like this and you like this format and this style, I can definitely do more of these. And I can do what I want to do eventually is pick a year. And I'm going to pick a year, and I'm going to go through not just horror, but the films that I saw in that year and just talk to you guys and give my thoughts on them. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron. This has been Called Cinema. Remember, just by seeing this here, there are so many films that come out every year to check out and to watch and to enjoy or not enjoy, depending on your thoughts on it. But there's only one of you, so be kind to yourself, be kind to others, because karma's a thing. And I will see you guys soon, right here again in the Called Cinema.